British Bulldogs?
Yep.
Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're a pirate.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I don't think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome in to TSO Sunday night here on the Sports Objective as we're talking about fall camp and the end of fall camp and the 2026 ECU Media Day recap. And ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, he was a superstar at Media Day. Kyle from LaGrange Barber, what's up?
Yeah, I don't know about the superstar part, but yeah, Media Day was fun. Props to ECU and Malcolm, the football staff, John, whoever put it together. I'm assuming it was Malcolm Gray and the football staff. So props to all those guys. Great job this year. Really enjoyed it. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know if you're supposed to enjoy it. It's information gathering, but I enjoyed doing it, and I think all Dave, JR, Alan all did. But it was good catching up with. We seem like we have a good group of guys. We'll see how they perform on the football field. But the guys that were there participating in the Media Day all were extremely polite, well-spoken. Coaches, the new coaches seem to understand the culture coming in. Excited, looking forward to the season.
And the star on the rise, ladies and gentlemen, he's from Northern Virginia and Greenville, depending on what day you ask him. Johnny Stats Robertson, he did great yesterday. Proud of you, man. You did a great job.
Well, I've been taking notes since last year. I've been watching Kyle, put it that way. There's nobody smoother than Kyle. That's the truth.
Well, I'll tell you.
I'm not smooth. That's my downfall. I am not smooth at all. But I've been practicing, and and then my favorite interview that I did all day was the one I did with Kyle, with Mitch Griffiths.
Yeah, we've gotten good feedback on that, JR. That might be something next year. Me and you need to tag team.
I think so.
Tag team back again. Real Justice Brad, 13 days away. Great interviews during Media Day, guys. Absolutely. I tell you what. By the way, Stevie and Matt, I want y'all there next year. It's usually the middle. It wasn't this year, but it's usually the middle of August. If you can take
try to work it out next year.
We missed you, and Matt, we missed you a lot too, brother. But I would love, that was the only thing I will say that was disappointing is not because of Media Day, just we had love to have the whole crew. You guys are awesome, and we're gonna kidnap you, Stevie, like I said, and we're gonna bring you down to Greenville for a ball game. I'm just going to say, look, don't get mad at him. We're kidnapping him, and we're taking him to Greenville, North Carolina, to a football game. Don't worry. He'll be in good
Yeah, Stevie hasn't been to a home game since Marshall in 23, so I don't know if he should come back to another one. But
exactly. That was a bad fourth quarter.
But the plan right now, and guys, you can blame him if we lose to him, but the plan right now is for him to be at App State. So
if they lose that game and I'm there,
I'm gonna punch you and throw you over the rail.
Oh my God! Kenny says, "Great interview, guys. Love hearing from the coaches and players." By the way, Kenny, you and Kyle are two of the best at AI graphics. And have you seen his graphics, Kyle? It's more in the style of yours. Not that y'all are copycats. Both of y'all do a great job.
I'd have to go look at his page, but I do all kinds of different stuff. I don't know if I have a specific style.
You got to look at them because y'all both do a great job on that. And so
I appreciate it.
to say that. But anyway, yeah,
that does my damn graphics I create on our social media do better than anything else. Like, I mean, our we're not getting a lot of reactions to our interviews on Facebook and X because people click on the links and go to YouTube. We're doing well on YouTube with the views. But the last graphic I created, 16 days to kick off, with the Pirate walking down Highway 12 with Hatteras in the background, it's got like 200 and some reactions. It's crazy to me how those graphics do better than anything.
Yeah, we're doing good, and we appreciate, by the way, our viewership is way up, and we appreciate that. Kitty says AI as well. Yes, sir, it is. I'll tell you what. By the way,
I think the king of AI, not so much the graphics, just playing with it, is Matt. The other night, he made a video of me dragging a shark out of the ocean and beating it up.
Matt. By the way, if they ever have a competition, I am definitely going to, and they have any betting, I'm definitely putting all my chips in on Matt Simmons on that. It is so. Maybe we should do that for anybody that Patreon. We could do that where people can see the stuff behind the scenes, because that would be.
I don't know if we need to show a lot of the stuff behind the scenes that goes on here.
We'll get in trouble.
We might get in trouble, Dave.
We'll lose our credentials.
Hey guys, I don't know if you saw the Cowboys and the Cardinals last night, but a highlight this morning on ESPN was former ECU Pirate Gardner Minshew throwing a pass and intercepted by former ECU Pirates Von Revel. Looks like, from listening to the one of the Cowboys podcasts this morning, because I listen to a lot of different NFL team podcasts.
You're a Cowboys fan, we know.
No, Revel is definitely penciled in as the number 2 starter on at cornerback. So it looks like he's making his way.
Good, and making your way in the world today takes everything you got.
Yeah, James
says, away from all your worries sure would help a lot, though.
Wouldn't you
like to get away, Kyle?
Hey, James.
Kyle Unfiltered would get you canceled.
Kyle,
yeah, you want to get canceled? Give me and James a podcast together. Jiminy Christmas. Good God, that would be some off the wall shit.
Yes, twins.
They're not related.
Twins.
They're not related. Oh, they're
twin Semenzas.
You remember that? I love that.
2 of us tonight, apparently.
Do you like that movie? Step
I only see one of you guys now. Is everybody else still seeing?
It's only one of them.
Matthew left.
Matthew got tired.
Yeah, Matthew is the guy that goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Matthew's the kind of guy that goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Matt is he's like us. He's TSO under the lights, after TSO after dark. He's going to be like, when we go to Alabama, we're going to be hanging out in Birmingham, and we're going to have a good time. And by the way, Matt, I do have a favor, Matt. Can you do me a huge favor? You know how they have the Secret Service and they call ahead of time and they get all. Can you do me a favor? And for Pirate Nation, I'm going to ask our friend Matt Simmons, please call all the clubs and the bars and let them know the ECU is going to be there, and we need places staying open past 10 o'clock at night.
Well, I think on a Friday and Saturday night with Alabama having a home game, I don't think you're going to have a problem.
Well, hopefully. I hope.
What's Birmingham all about? I mean, does Birmingham close that early?
It was a weeknight for the bowl game, is what he's talking about. It was a friggin' Monday night, if I remember right.
Yeah. Matt, that city is huge. It was only like 2 places open for Pirate fans.
It was a Monday night.
I'll tell you,
I know.
What I really want to do after the game that night is get some good barbecue, and then post up in like a sports bar and just.
Unfortunately, you're going to be in Alabama, so you're not going to find good barbecue.
Wait, you don't like the barbecue?
Nah, it's just an Eastern North Carolina versus Alabama barbecue thing. I love
I
all
definitely
kinds of
prefer
barbecue if it's done right. Hey Matt, the next time if you do come for Halloween, if depending on what time kickoff is for ECU Temple, or if you can get in on Friday and I can get off, we need to hit up to Edenton. You want some good barbecue?
Oh, yeah.
Check out you need to check out Old Colony Smokehouse in Edenton. It's tremendous.
That dude's a great marketer too.
He is.
Yeah. Have you finally checked out his stuff on social media, JR?
Hey, Matt.
Can't help it, Kyle. I was researching Edenton.
He had a video.
He's all over the place on social media, and he makes you want to go there, does he not?
Yeah. All right, so guys, Kenny has a great question, football related. How did the scrimmage go Saturday? I'll tell you.
Pirates won.
Yeah, I'll tell
Kenny,
you one thing.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'll tell you one thing, Matt. You were going to be very, 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 very happy with the defense. The defense looked extremely good.
JR, what did you see during the scrimmage yesterday? What little bit you got to watch?
Oh, I mean, they didn't let us see anything because we only got to see the last like half an hour. I didn't see a lot. Dave did. I mean, it was hard. We were on the sidelines, but our sight line wasn't great. So yeah, I didn't really see a lot.
The most patriotic man in the history of America is Alan Vick. He's a good American. Look, see the USA. Those listening, he's got a red shirt. Yeah, USA. You're like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I'd show you my 2x4, but it's not appropriate.
That's not. This is a family. This is a family show.
Yes. Keep your wood away there, Alan.
Yeah.
But
yes,
sir.
He's got wood.
To elaborate more on Kenny's question about the scrimmage, we didn't. I didn't go out to the field. They didn't show us much, but I can tell you this: Ray Joseph got banged up yesterday in the scrimmage. It was a shoulder. Doesn't sound like it's anything serious. Shouldn't miss any playing time in terms of the season. That was prior to the scrimmage. He didn't participate in. Landon's still recovering. There's several guys that were out yesterday from the scrimmage, like Landon. Guys with horrible names. The running back from Greenville.
Michael Allen.
Michael Allen is out again. Should be back for Alabama. Coach Harrell said everybody that was not participating in the scrimmage yesterday or got banged up in the scrimmage yesterday should be back for Alabama. He said except for one. He wouldn't specify who, but he said that player may be ready for Alabama, but he'd rather have him for games 2, 3, 4 than have him for game 1 and bring him back too soon.
Yeah.
So we'll see who that one player is, but was a little scared. When I heard Ray hurt his shoulder, but it sounds like it wasn't serious. And then
they're just being cautious.
Yeah. And then Landon, he hadn't practiced. And I wonder if it's him. And just as pure speculation, I wonder if it's him that may not play against Alabama. I got a feeling it'll be him or Michael Allen. And again, this is pure speculation on my part, but Blake did indicate there would be one. So I think it'll be him or Michael Allen. Landon sides or Michael Allen. But I could be wrong on that, and probably shouldn't speculate on that at all. But damn it, when you say there's going to be one, and then you don't say who, it leads people to speculate.
Well, that's part of it, and I felt like overall, I mean, we talk about all the time about the spring game, but to me, I don't. When Logan used to talk about Allen, you don't get too high and you don't get too low. That's the way I am with these scrimmages. Pirate Nation, there were some fans in the stands. That was great to see. Probably it wasn't a lot, maybe about 50, but still.
That was, it wasn't open to the public. Those were invited guests.
Those were Pirate Club members.
Yeah, Blake met with them before he came to the press conference after the scrimmage. I heard Meador talking about that. So those were invited guests.
The Purple Gold Society.
It was probably, hey, thanks for the NIL money. Here's what you paid for. That's probably what that was.
True. That's actually true because, that's one thing that I did ask a player about the importance of that. You'll just have to listen to our interviews to find out which one. But anyway, that's let's see. Brandon says my predictions for week 0 games this coming Saturday. TCU, NC State.
By the way, there he is, Matt. You were asking about him.
Yep.
State and you.
Okay. All right. A little different name there. A little different spin on it.
Yep.
What's up, Brandon?
For week 0's game. Put that back up.
He likes TCU. I agree. They're pretty fast by a touchdown. I think they're going to
give me UVA, although I do like State's quarterback. FSU, obviously. UNLV.
I think Memphis is
UNLV,
better.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Brandon last year, and I can't remember what game it was. I don't think it was an ECU game, but Brandon, if you can remember, I don't know if he'll remember this or not. There was one damn game Brandon gave me a pick for, and it was off the wall, and then it happened exactly the way he picked it. So, Brandon, I'm gonna pay attention to your picks because if you start getting stuff right, we might have to get a FanDuel account or something, or one of those.
That's the official bookie for the Sports Objective for TSO.
Start calling him Biff.
You got the
Logan said, looks like the 2022 guys are ineligible now. Yeah. That was one of the things, by the way, we could spend hours. We're not, but that's BS with the NCAA. They have.
To clarify on that. Okay. So, they are ineligible at this moment, federally. There may be some other judgments that happen. This is, it's not 100% over at this point. But there's some state lawsuits. I don't know if North Carolina's going to get involved in that. But there could be some other things that happen. But as of right now, they're not eligible.
Okay, Kyle. I'll give you a chance to retract your statement about.
Well, hold on. JR wanted to comment on that, I think.
I was going to add that at this point, every week that's goes by is just it's making the situation 10 times worse. And I did ask Brock Spalding how Sam's dealing with it, and he said he's pretty much devastated. If you listen to the interview, you could hear it. But
make sure don't tell him too much. You did a good job for those interviews, Johnny.
Yeah, I asked Brandon the same thing, and I don't remember what he said about JD. I cannot remember. So go back and listen to the interview. Brandon, who did I say I asked?
Brandon?
Yeah, no. Preston Carr. I don't know why I said Brandon, but I asked Preston Carr the same thing and about JD. But yeah, no, I think I'm going to take back Brandon being a.
I knew you were going to say it.
He says week one, he guarantees we're going to upset Alabama. Yeah, I'm going to take it all back, Brandon.
Hey, you're like Tony Collins. You're going to run to the Tar River.
Biff is right. Biff.
Hey, if we beat Alabama, I'll.
You'll be ready at the airport.
I'll tell you what. If we beat Alabama, anybody who's not in Tuscaloosa better be meeting them boys at the airport in Greenville or Kinston, where they fly back to, and we better give them a convoy back to the stadium.
It'll bring an all new meaning to the term "tarps off" if we beat Alabama, for sure.
Oh my Lord!
We beat Alabama. I think the ladies should take their tarps off. I mean,
oh man, I'm not touching that one. Oh my goodness.
Nor should you.
Yeah, that's right. If it's a married lady, absolutely not. Anyway, so we're gonna have fun talking about this. I'm wearing black not because of, by the way, not because of the season's going to be bad. I think I think one of the things that I took away from Kyle and Alan and Johnny, all of us there. And by the way, before I forget, I got two shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Jessica. She did a great job as producer yesterday behind the scenes. I know she doesn't like attention and she doesn't like to be in front of the camera, so to speak, or on the mic, but she did a great job. And also our alum of our great show, Bubba Rosenbaum, helped us behind the scenes with, there was like 30, I think there was like 30 interviews. It was a whole bunch. And he helped us out with that to get it quick.
Yeah, he helped us. What Bubba did was put the audio to graphics, and then I got them out on social, YouTube, etc. So it was a team effort for me and Bubba. So definitely thanks a lot, Bubba, for the help. It's nice when we part of the way with the podcast. He went and did his own thing, but still friends and appreciate the help.
Hey, can I give credit to Alan? Alan, where'd you drive to? Farmville or Wilson?
The station.
To download.
I went to the radio station in Greenville, the Greenville studio afterwards.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, because if you hadn't done that, wouldn't have been able to get.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes,
yeah, Alan
and JR. I told him face to face yesterday, and I'll say it again. He was all nervous, but once he sat down and started, doing his thing, JR did great. His interviews were fantastic.
That's what I was trying to say.
You're my teddy bear.
Robert Matthews comes in with the bullshit.
Robert, hang on a second. Robert. That's a great job there by Robert Matthews. Excellent. That's a great question.
Yeah, it was. Hey, I want to give a thank you on air to Robert Matthews. My wife had put out a wish list for her classroom, and Robert's one of the few people that participated in that and bought something for her classroom. His wife's also a teacher, so I appreciate it, Robert, for that. As far as handshakes, yes, there was some handshakes. Nothing epic that I wouldn't let go of. I'm saving that, Robert, for when I see you again at the games this fall. I'm gonna grab and we're gonna hold hands the whole first quarter. In fact, I'm gonna drag Stevie to the App State game, hopefully, and Stevie can film me holding your hand the whole first quarter.
I'm sure.
I thought I saw you holding on to Blake's pants leg a couple of times when he was walking away from the podium.
Hey, was Bubba at media day? Did he get left hanging again?
Nah, Bubba was not.
That's a long trip for him.
And it was Reese's birthday, so he's being a good dad.
I'm just messing with Bubba. I didn't know if somebody left him hanging like Ron.
Hard to believe. Speaking of happy birthday to Reese, hard to believe she's 12. That just doesn't seem right.
He and Mackenzie Mackenzie's like 6 months older, but they're the same age.
Okay, I thought Mackenzie was 13. I didn't realize she was 12.
Yeah, Alex is 13 and she's 12. So
okay,
it sucked when they were in diapers, but it's good now. For 2 kids in diapers. I'm glad we don't have to worry about that anymore.
You have no one but yourself to blame there, Dave. I mean,
yeah.
So close together.
Yeah. I'm glad I have a boy and a girl. I'm happy. So
one boy, one girl.
Oh my God. Colin Ray has nothing to worry about.
Yeah. So Matt, I wanted to get your take. What's it like as a player? This is one question I have, and I want to get your take on what is it like once you have fall camp over with, and now you're going into regular practices, and you finally get a chance where you're not hitting your own guys, you're hitting somebody else. What is it like?
Oh, it's great when fall camp breaks, and you do kind of get to the point where you just had enough of it, and you're just ready for the first game to start. And that's probably where these guys are very close to getting at this point. You still got to have another great week of practice this week and the next week, obviously. But I'm sure everybody's getting to the point now where it's like, hey, we've been hitting each other long enough. It's time for game one. So that's happening. And even just from my perspective, just doing this show, I'm kind of getting to the point too. I was talking to Kyle and Stevie earlier today. I'm kind of getting to the point now where I'm just ready to start the games up. We've covered this thing from so many different angles. It's time to get the games going now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I thought Matt was going to say he's ready to hit someone.
Well, I definitely am. I'm ready to hit somebody too.
I feel like I go ahead full speed tackle the shit out of them.
I feel like I could, I got 5 good plays left in me. JR 5.
Okay.
And then a hamstring pull might happen, but it's all good.
I was going to ask Matt. I was going to ask Matt. Well, what's Bubba saying here? Before the bowl game last year, Kyle said if we beat Pitt, I'll go pants off. Well, I did go pants off. I did go pants off, Bubba, just not on the air. I did on the air, just nobody can tell. In fact, I don't have my pants on right now. I'm Winnie. I am Winnie the Poohing it as we speak.
Wearing a
shirt, no pants. Shirt only, shirt no pants.
We didn't even know about that, but
or Donald ducking it, whatever you prefer. But anyway, so Matt, back when you were here, I don't know how media day was. If it was a bigger production, smaller production. Did you ever participate in media day?
I did, yeah, but it was very different back then. We used to have it underneath the stadium there.
Yeah.
Did you guys remember that? We would have it underneath the stadium. It wasn't as fancy, but it was still a good event. I think most of the players enjoyed it, but definitely not even close to what it is today.
Yeah, now I will say this. We did say earlier we put over Malcolm and the job he did with media day, but I will say this. Back in 20 God, I gotta get my years right. 2019, we did media day, and they had a full buffet there and drinks and everything, and all they had this time was water. So I know they're probably looking out for me on my diet, and anybody who saw me at media day probably said, "What diet?" Well, you should have seen me about 2 months before that. But I could have had some cold cuts and a cold drink, but besides that, it was fantastic.
I know what happened. Alan complained about a certain restaurant always doing the buffet, and so they just said, "Well, the heck."
No more. What happens when people run their mouth, Alan?
Way to go, Alan.
You're welcome. I have no idea what he's talking about, but you're welcome.
We always talk. Alan and I always have a joke about there's a certain restaurant, and I love the restaurant. But they always cater, and we said
I probably can guess who it is, but we won't talk about that on there. But No, it was, yeah, again, we're kind of, there's nothing else to really talk about with media day. I said this yesterday at some point, talking season's over, it's time for football.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to think of anything, I'm really
Kyle,
struggling
let
with
me
the
ask you a
topic.
question.
Yeah, Matt, yeah, that's good, because I'm struggling here. I wish I would shut up. Go ahead.
All right, so just I'll throw some questions. Anybody, feel free to chime in, but let's just start with the players. Anybody that stood out, like the most charismatic player, great personality?
The most
Somebody you guys really
interesting,
enjoyed
I'll
talking
tell you,
to?
both our quarterbacks have great personalities. I think Emory Williams is an extremely interesting fellow. He speaks two or three different languages. He's a foodie. He listed some places in Greenville that I didn't even know were there. His girlfriend is German. He's an interesting dude. I would say that Mitch Griffiths is a very nice guy. Mitch knows a lot about ECU. Anybody who hadn't heard that Mitch Griffiths interview that me and JR did, he was one of the guys he worked with, coming up with Paul Trough. He also, was a huge college football fan growing up, and one of his favorite players was the captain, Shane Carden. His grandparents went to ECU. So all of this stuff really hasn't been mentioned about Mitch Griffith. So that's something that if this is he's only going to have 1 year here, but it seems like he should have been here a few years back, because he has a lot of he knows more about ECU football historically than a lot of guys who play here 4 years, and so I think that's pretty cool. Love that he grew up. Love that he has the ties to Paul Trough. He grew up a Shane Carden fan. Jared, were you surprised to hear that about Shane Carden?
Yeah, I was. He hung around. We were the last interview, and he was the last one out, and he stayed another 3 or 4 or 5 minutes and talked to us about stuff off the record. That
you guys,
I don't know how many other people would do that. Yeah,
you guys are from the same part of Virginia and have some stuff to talk about there. Matt, what was your other questions, or was that it?
All right, so I got a few follow-ups to that. So we talked about players who kind of stood out. How about coaches? Was there anybody?
Another player that stood out. I'm sorry. Preston Carr. Preston Carr is another guy. I love his personality. Preston's just a dude. He could have played with you, Matt. He's from that.
That dude is one of the biggest football players I've ever seen.
Well, he's just a dude. I won't say what he said when the mic was off when I asked about a certain team, but he's a dude. He's like I said, he could have easily played in the Matt Semenza days in the '90s under Logan. He's a throwback. He's a throwback. That's a good way to put Preston Carr. Another guy I enjoyed was Hayes Creel, the offensive line transfer from Southern Miss, and I messed with him a little bit. I threw him off at the beginning because I was talking shit about Hattiesburg. And he wouldn't bite, but I finally explained to him I had a buddy that was a USM grad. Yeah, James. James, you hadn't listened to that interview. If you're still in the audience, listen to the interview with Hayes Creel. But so yeah, that's who stood out to me. And as far as coaches, you asked, Matt. Jordan Davis is a really smart guy. I can kind of tell he feels like he has some things to prove because he hasn't been even though he had the title of OC. He hasn't been 100% in charge of play calling, and I think he wants to show that he can do that at a high level.
Kyle, let me jump in on that because hey, I'll give all you guys credit. You guys all did a great job. One of the things I enjoyed about that interview, Kyle, with Jordan Davis is your first question out of the gate. You asked him, "Hey, what was the situation in North Texas? Were you actually calling plays there? What was the dynamic?"
Yeah.
And it seems like a pretty basic question, but honestly, I don't know if I've heard anybody else ask him that point blank.
You're correct.
I could be wrong about that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but
I
enjoyed that. I thought he gave an honest answer too.
Yeah, he said him, and it was a combined effort, but Eric Morris, the head coach, had final say on play calls. He wasn't given full autonomy. And he said he got a taste of that in the bowl game, and he said he had every opportunity to go to Oklahoma State, and that would have been the easy thing to do. But if he wanted to, become a full-time play caller, he had to go out and do it. So,
and let me ask you this: how many points did they score in that bowl game that he called against San Diego State?
I don't remember, but it was a lot.
It was a lot.
I think it was 49. I want to say it was 49.
It was in the 40s. You're right, Matt.
And I know Ashton Gray had a huge game that day. So,
Yeah.
Hopefully that continues.
Ashton Green.
Yeah, Ashton was good. He was good. He was a good interview. Another coach who stood out, Jordan Hankins, the other DC, the other coordinator. Hankins is a good dude. Hankins seems like a guy. I don't know. Hankins seems like a dude that he could be from here. He could have been a guy that I went to school with. Jordan Hankins just kind of has that. I don't know where Jordan's from originally, but I don't know if anybody else kind of picked up on that from him. I think he's going to fit in well here. Dave, I think you
reminds me a lot of Dwayne Ledford, guys. Just the way he kind of carries himself and the way he looks.
Roy Tesh or
Jordan Hankins. Just
Hankins, there you go.
Roy Tesh is a really good guy, and I love the fact that he's a D-line coach because and that he's having success. And in the interview, the only thing I will say about that interview is he talked about it last year. Is he actually is doing a great job developing these guys because you don't have all these like superstar names. Of course, Preston Carr, I know that, but I'm just talking about there's probably 10, 11 guys on defense.
Yeah, Jordan Hankins said, and go listen to the interview, but he said he's never been anywhere where he feels comfortable rotating 10 to 12 guys on the D line. He said he does here. So that's saying a lot. And should bode well. Another coach that stood out, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, but our tight ends coach.
Huddle.
Huddle. McKay, yes.
Oh, I'm
Huddle's the O-line coach. McKay.
Yeah, but my bad.
And Huddle's good too, but McKay, just a really nice guy. I mistakenly had to stop and start the interview because I called him a first-year coach, and he said, I'm in year 3. Like very humbly, and I was like, I'm a complete idiot. We had so many new coaches, so I had to restart that. So I appreciate him being very humble, and I actually like that he corrected me rather than just letting me roll with the. Some people will let you do that thinking they don't want to make you look stupid. I'd rather you correct me in a nice way and let me restart. So
I'll tell you somebody I was impressed with was Julian Griffin.
Thank you, Alan. My favorite.
Julian Griffin was fantastic. The running backs coach.
I did not interview him. I did listen to a little bit of your interview with him, JR, and he seems like a really good dude.
Yeah. But one thing that didn't make my interview was Dave. You sent me the sound clip. It was like 50-something seconds long, where I asked him about does he use Greenville to recruit. And he went on for one solid minute about talking about how much Greenville, impresses him and helps him in recruiting.
I like.
You know what? That's actually 3 people. So he mentioned that another person, Hayes Krill, talked about how much he liked Greenville. He said he liked Hattiesburg, but it was too small. He said it was way. You wouldn't think Hattiesburg would be that different from Lake Charles. He said, but he had spent so much time in Lake Charles, Louisiana. He said Hattiesburg just didn't fit him, and even though he got his degree from there, he said Greenville reminds him a lot more of Lake Charles, which I've never been to Lake Charles, Louisiana.
I have. I could see.
Is it similar to Greenville?
I mean, no, it's not. But size-wise, yeah, though, yeah. I mean,
maybe
it's
that's
very similar.
Size-wise. Yeah, that's maybe what he meant.
And
by the way, Jordan Hankins is from Tennessee, and then he went to UT Martin, and his wife actually played softball for UT Martin. So, he met her in college, and they got married, and so he's a Tennessee guy.
Well, that makes sense. But I said it seems like he could be from here because it's close enough. No, I think we got a good group, coaches and players, at least the players that were at Media Day. I mean, you're not going to have the ones that maybe aren't the most articulate or wouldn't be the best interviews at Media Day. But no, I don't. Just listen to the interviews, everybody.
Yeah. By the way, this is a topic that Matt. Should we bring this up? Yeah, we're going to do it. Matt, get ready for this. You're going to be mad, but here we go. New white uniforms look great. What do you guys think, Matt?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think, and whatever other human being is that Matt Semenza thinks. They look fantastic. They're great. Me and Bubba talked ad nauseum last night about why in the world does Matt not like these. And then they look like a more modern version of the away uniforms that Matt played in. But then we found out, Matt, what did we find out today about the uniforms you used to play in?
You found out that I never loved those uniforms. That's what you found out.
Okay.
You know, I'm hoping they grow on me. I am hoping they like sometimes when you see a uniform, you know, like posted online, it'll either jump out at you or like your first impression just isn't good.
So you think
maybe sometimes a uniform will grow on you. So I'm hoping it will. I don't know, man. Something about it just I didn't love it. But I know I'm in the minority on this one.
Hey, if we could go undefeated in the season, they can wear pink for all I care. Even though
those uniforms look great. The purple and gold trim on the white, they're going to go really well with the new white pants that they had last year that didn't exactly match the away uniforms.
And I like
and because of the white, the amount of purple and gold on the whites, they're gonna match really well with purple or gold pants. Also, you're going to be able to. They're going to match better when you want to rotate your helmets. Purple helmets, gold helmets, white. Well, we don't have a gold helmet. Purple helmet, white helmet. You're going to be able to do a lot with those uniforms, and they're going to look good with a lot of different things. I think they're tremendous.
In fact, Brad says the numbers specifically on the new jerseys look excellent.
Yeah, they do. What does everybody else think besides me and Matt?
I love them.
I like them. I like them.
Yeah, I do like them.
We'll probably get in a muddy game wearing them. That's the way it always works, but yeah. I think they're sharp. I think they're sharp.
Yeah. Hey, UBE already has them for sale. They're already.
You know what? I didn't even notice that yesterday. I was at UBE yesterday, and I didn't even. Are they just online? Or are they in store?
They put
no. This was on the rack. They had the number 23, which is Alex Moy.
I don't know. You know what? I do know. I didn't notice them. I got there at 4:35 yesterday. I was in a friggin' rush. So that's how I didn't notice them.
By the way, if we win a lot of football games, we'll really like them, right, Matt? If we win a lot of football games and we're going to the playoffs, we like them.
I don't care if they wear polka dots if we win games.
Are they going to wear those Alabama?
Yeah, that's our away uniform. Yeah. That's what they wear. Yep.
Well, if they beat Alabama, I guarantee Matt will like them then.
Yeah. If we beat Alabama, I'm going to UBE the next day and buy a number 23 immediately.
If we beat Alabama, I'm sleeping at the stadium until the App State game.
Hey, that's a great stunt. Hey, Matt, in radio, we call that a stunt. Is people can come by and feed Kyle and donate to the NIL fund, and we'll get you set up in the parking lot with a tent. And what else, guys?
Yep. If we get a certain amount of money, then Kyle can go home. But until we get that certain amount of money,
Jesus Christ, y'all are doing some late '80s morning show bullshit.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm waiting for Johnny Fever to come out anytime now.
That's okay. We need to raise at least 100.
What are y'all, Bob Dumas here? I don't.
Yeah.
Call yourself Bobby Boogie.
We need to have at least $100,000 before Kyle can go home.
Alan, I asked Dave this. I don't think Dave, you said you didn't know Bob Dumas. Alan, you know Bob Dumas?
Mm-hmm. I've met him a couple of times. I met him twice, but not like, I don't know, like he wouldn't know who I am now, but I'm
right. What about you, Alan?
Yeah, I know who Bob is. Yeah,
do you know him though? Like
I know him well enough that to know who he is, and he would know who I am. Yes, but I hadn't spent much time on him.
Yeah, Bob. Bob's not doing anything now. He got out of radio. You know, his speech was damaged from the brain tumor, and he did the show for years after that, and it just got to the point where his speech was so slurred. He did a podcast for a little while after that, but I don't know where he is now. I was a fan of his work at times. At times, it was too radio gimmicky, but when he wouldn't do that. When he would just be himself, and I enjoyed a lot of his stuff. But anyway, back on topic.
Yeah, he actually did it. They took over the radio station and G105 and locked themselves in the studio, and they played disco for I forgot how long. And then they had a 70s like disco show at Walnut Creek. This was 1994. But anyway, let's see. Okay, Robert, he says he came away thinking we're more experienced and a much closer team than I guess he thought. Preston Carr even said this is the closest ECU team he's been a part of.
Thanks for paying attention to the interview there, Robert. But yeah, he did. I was about to say that. Preston Carr said this is, and I don't know if he just meant the defense or the entire team, but he said it's the closest team he's ever been a part of, which if that's including the whole team, that's incredible. And I'm going to tell you what, if he means that, not just the defense, and Preston's not a bullshitter, but if he means the entire team and not just the defense, that bodes extremely well, because that's one of the biggest parts, Matt, of this transfer portal era is getting your team to gel.
In fact, Matt, if you want to go on buzzwords that we heard a lot yesterday, I know, Kyle, not to steal your thunder, but you said you heard culture a lot.
Yeah, yep.
And Matt,
yeah, and as you should, because Blake has done such a good job with the culture since he's been here. And, you know, it really is a great point. Like in this day and age, when you're turning over literally, you know, 50 to 60% of your roster every single year, you have to be able to bring in guys who fit your culture. And I know like that's like coaches use that term a lot and it can be a little overdone, but I mean, I'm glad to hear that from Preston Carr because it does make a big difference. And hopefully it shows up on game day.
Yeah, by the way, Matt, another word that you'll be appreciative of that I'm sure that you will love, but I heard from a lot of players when I did the interviews and they talked about physicality. And that's something that definitely is important in the game of football. And I was extremely happy to hear that because it's not like they're just telling us what we want to hear. I felt like every player was sincere what they had to say. By the way, this is for Kyle. Thank you, Bubba. He says Hankins is from the southwest of Nashville.
Yeah, JR just mentioned that a few minutes ago.
80 miles southwest of Nashville. What's up, Justin Butts, man who's been on the cruise? What's up, guys?
I'll tell you a guy who jumped out at me a little bit yesterday, guys, in the interviews was KJ Merrill. He's ascending as a player here at ECU. He had a great bowl game last year against Pitt. I thought he played really well. He's got the look, man. He did. Yeah, he's got a look in his eye, man. He's ready to go and hit somebody. You know, I kind of noticed like how focused and ready to go he was. So he jumped out a little bit.
So what is Brandon says he's going to call if we beat Alabama, he's going to call the Paul Feinbaum show. I want to hear Kyle from LaGrange call because all these pretenders, all these people like Legend and I-Man, and all these people have nothing on. And Kyle and I are friends. I know that. But even if I didn't know Kyle, I'll put Kyle Barber against any of those callers any day of the week. I would love for you to cut a promo and just let them have it.
Well, that's not. Look, the odds of us beating Alabama are not very high, so it's kind of a moot point. That's right. I said moot point, not mute point. But it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, if anybody gives a damn, sure. If we beat Alabama, I'll call the Paul Feinbaum show. Sure. Also, the Paul Feinbaum show.
How about Matt Semenza calling?
I know. Man, you know I can't stand Feinbaum. He is the ultimate SEC homer.
Oh, he is.
Good
I just
Lord.
love hearing those people go, "Hey, Paul, I'm calling in. You know I'm a big Tennessee fan, and I know you went there." And it's like, oh my God, get with it. Like, and they bash each other, but I guess that's like the shtick of the show. I do like having that banter back and forth with fans. I think it's cool. But anyway, Paul was actually, I told you he was on one of my shows. He was well behaved. So
I've never heard his show ever.
I've no desire to.
Wow.
No, I've never heard it.
I've never listened to
He's an
it either.
interesting dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I don't like when they have him on. You know, he all of a sudden becomes like a talking head like Stephen A. Smith. I know one of Matt's favorites, and I say that sarcastically. But Paul Feinbaum I like his radio show. I don't like him on ESPN. Does that make any sense? I mean,
yeah, because that's where I'm drawing my conclusion from.
I don't like him. Period. I have no.
His radio show. He is a radio guy. He's a radio.
He's
guy.
Definitely got a face for radio.
Definitely, no doubt about that.
He heard that. I think he heard that, Kyle.
Good God, satellite ears.
The Feinbaum would be a must listen.
Starlink ears.
I'll tell you one thing: if we do beat that, and Kyle, we're gonna have we'll have a lot of people that his radio, the phone lines will probably.
Just to be honest, you know, and it's everybody's dreaming, but beating Alabama, the last damn thing on my mind is gonna be Paul Feinbaum. I mean, it would be one of the proudest moments in ECU history. I mean, it would. You know, you're talking about a win for the ages, but you know, it's probably not going to happen. But it's fun to think about. But I'm still in the camp of let's get this one over with and move on to App State.
Well, let me ask. Here's one for JR. All right, since we're talking about beating Alabama, JR, has there been a time where a top 20 team who was I know there has been, but a top 20 team who has been a 28-point or more favorite has lost a home opener?
Ask Coach Griffin, because he went to ULM. He was a Warhawk, Louisiana Monroe, and in 2014
they beat Alabama, right?
No, they didn't beat Alabama. They had never won a bowl game in the entire history of the program, and they had not had a great season the year before. They went to number 8 Arkansas and beat them in week 1. And
interesting.
And if you listen to the interview, I'm just going to finish up and say he gives reasons why they won that game and kind of correlates it to East Carolina at Alabama. So,
well, that's good, but I'll say this: I don't know a team that may have been upset more in week 1 and week 2 in the history of college football than Arkansas. It just seems like over the years, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Well, App State, Michigan, was that week 1?
It was, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were playing Virginia. Yeah, we were playing Virginia Tech that day.
The line was on that game.
It's hard to get FBS, FCS lines. You got to remember they were coming off 2 straight FCS national championships, and so
Michigan, man, and it was in the big house.
It was an 8-4 Michigan team.
So, yeah. Who's worse, Paul Feinbaum or Pat McAfee on College Game Day? I'm going to go Feinbaum.
I don't hate McAfee. I think McAfee.
McAfee don't bother me at all.
Me neither, Stevie.
Well, Stevie, you and me are wrestling people, so in fact, the more he's on football, the less I don't like him on wrestling. So he needs to stay on football. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like McAfee in the ring on wrestling. I don't mind him so much on commentary, But yeah, I would say, I know a lot of people hate McAfee, but yeah, I would say Feinbaum. Give me McAfee over Feinbaum any day.
Okay, the line on the Michigan App State closed at 28.5.
Interesting.
Oh,
and the line for the ULM win over Arkansas that JR just referenced was 30.5.
Wow.
Oh man.
At one time, I think the 2 biggest point spread upsets in college football history, at least at one time, were Stanford over USC when USC was on their run, and what's his name? Khaki Pants was just getting Stanford going. What's his name?
Jim Harbaugh.
When Harbaugh was getting, when Harbaugh was just getting Stanford going, they upset USC when USC was on their tear, and I think that was like a 42-point spread. And another one that at one time was the biggest point spread upset. It would still be right up there. It was a 40-some point spread. Rutgers, when they were the drizzling shits in the late 90s, upset Virginia Tech when Tech was rolling, I think in 98. And so, yeah, those are 2 that I remember vividly that were like 40-some point spreads.
So Kenny Curlin says Alabama will be a 3-loss team. So they're going to lose 2 games in SEC into East Carolina. Is what you're saying, Kenny?
Well, they're playing 9 SEC games, so yeah, my money's that they're going to lose 3 games. Guaranteed.
If they lose 3 games, they still may make the playoffs.
That's why this time of year is so much fun. We can sit here and what do you think? But I mean, that's why it's so cool. We sit here, we're less than 2 weeks away, and we can sit here and speculate about this stuff and just have fun with it.
That's right.
I'm ready for this to be over. I'm ready for football. We got football. We got football this coming weekend. That's
right. So didn't Mitch talked about his brother with Central?
Yeah, well, I talked about that with Matt because he didn't believe me because Matt lives right down the road from Central Connecticut State.
Yeah.
That Mitch Griffith's brother is the starting quarterback at Central Connecticut State, and so JR confirmed that since Matt.
I think he was impressed that I knew that, but. Yeah, his brother and him are 2 years apart, but now they're both in their final year of college, and they're best of friends and root for each other. And he said he'll be thrown up into an empty trash can next Saturday.
There were several players that were very impressed with JR's knowledge.
He said he was stalking them. But
yeah, that's what I thought too. Preston Carr looked at him like, "Dude, do you live outside my window?" But it was really cool to watch the players react when JR would come up with something obscure or whatever.
I appreciate that, Alan.
And you got the contrast for people we interviewed twice, like Preston Carr. It was a couple that I interviewed and JR interviewed, but
Cruz Law.
Yeah, Cruz Law. Thank you. You got the most prepared dude on the planet, JR, and the most unprepared. JR, Stevie, you'll appreciate this. JR's the guy that workshops and scripts his promos beforehand, and I go out there like Dusty and cut it on the fly.
Yeah, baby.
If you will.
JR had note cards.
Yeah, he's
JR.
He's the well prepared. It's Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. He's Jim Ross. I'm Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Did you say what the line was on that Stanford UFC game?
It was like 40 something, if I remember right.
40.5.
Check Rutgers, Virginia Tech. I try 97 or 98. It was another huge upset.
And Stanford won that 24-23.
Yeah.
What'd you say? What year did you say?
Rutgers and Virginia Tech. It would be 96, 97, or 98.
It's not in the top 10 biggest upsets.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I think that's probably a mistake because it at that time it certainly was.
All right. In fact, Brandon says we have an 81% chance to beat App State. According to
that's according to the ESPN Power Index. Hopefully the ESPN Power Index is correct. I would not put that percentage at that high. I think there's too many question marks, and I think App's going to be an improved team this year. That's going to be a war. That will be a slobber knocker of a football game, and we just need to come out victorious against App week 2, whether that means we beat them by 1 point or by 30 points.
Hey Matt. Have you ever noticed? Robert. Hey, I'll get to that. So just a second, I'll put it back up. Matt, have you ever noticed that Kyle is becoming more and more coach speak there? Because he wants to. What was it? Who was it? Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz was the best at. Oh yeah, it's going to be a really close game. And
Dave, I've always been that way. Unless it's somebody obvious. And it's not coach speak. It's just how I am. I'm always very conservative when it comes to our opponents. I don't, and it's because I believe it. And it's a rivalry game. App beat us 3 times in a row. They got Maine week 1. If you don't think do you think they're sitting there talking about the big game against Maine? No, they're talking about playing East Carolina in week 2. Yep. So yeah, that game's going to be a war.
Blake mentioned it.
Yeah, and I wish he wouldn't have. I don't like giving anybody any ammunition. And he didn't say anything disrespectful, that's for sure. But
I think it's good that he said for both fan bases.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, he did it, but he didn't do it disrespectfully. He acknowledged that they beat us 3 times in a row, but I wouldn't have. I wouldn't say anything else about it until the week of the game. But but I'm glad to know we got it circled, and I know another player. I know we got at least one player that's fired up for it. But anyway.
Yeah, we have a special appearance from Jamie in the background.
Hey,
Alan.
Today is her birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Jamie!
Happy birthday, Jamie!
Happy birthday!
Yeah. She's probably like, it's a birthday.
I don't say happy birthday to anybody named Jamie.
Oh, never.
No offense to your Jamie, Alan.
What was that?
What was up,
1992 Rutgers, Virginia Tech.
Say again?
Was it 1992?
No. It was later than that.
Oh, by the way,
Rutgers beat
happy birthday, Brandon. Brandon's birthday today. What's up, brother? Happy birthday.
Now, how old is Brandon? I'd like to know. Brandon, how old are you?
He's early 30s.
33, 34 is my guess. I don't know.
39?
I'll say 34. What do y'all's guess?
36.
Oh,
31.
31?
31. I have shoes older than 31.
Oh man. Alan Vick,
you, Brandon. Happy birthday.
Alan's 31.
Almost times 2. Almost.
Well, I was trying to sell it, Alan.
Yeah, well, I don't look 31, so that would be a difficult sell for sure.
All right, guys. So for me overall, I was really happy with the team, and with the players, the coaches. Again, thank you, Malcolm. He did a great job. and all the Valerie was there, Dylan was there. I mean, Grady rather was there. But
hey, one thing I want to mention yesterday, people want to know about stuff from the scrimmage, and this needs to be mentioned. Melvin, the transfer from Wake Forest, he apparently had a big day at the scrimmage yesterday, and a part of that was because Landon Slides wasn't out there. Ray Joseph went down with a shoulder early, and so is it Jeremiah Melvin? Is that his full name? He had a big day at the scrimmage yesterday, and is a guy that is starting to show he could be a major contributor this year. So there's some intel from yesterday. Apparently, he showed out yesterday.
Robert Edrick said, "I'm starting to think we're good enough to get something out of this Bama game. Maybe we see no more than a 17-point deficit." I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to be like a 21-point game. It's not that. I know 3 touchdowns is still not close, but when you're playing one of the biggest programs in the history of college football, then we'll know that we're going to have a great year if we're that close.
Guys, sorry, David, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought you were done. Big development out of Alabama in the last 48 hours where Keelan Russell has been named the starter. And, it's interesting. Like I've been listening to the podcast, and all of a sudden you're starting to hear a lot more optimism out of Alabama fans. And I think it's because they were able to run the ball successfully in their last scrimmage. They've been so poor running the ball going back to last year. And it sounds like they finally broke through in their scrimmage the other day. So you're hearing a lot of optimism now from the Alabama fans. And, they kind of just look at this ECU game as like, hey, we're just going to steamroll little old ECU. I'm telling you guys, we have got to go down there and play competitive football. We need to execute. We need to be prepared. And I want to see us use a lot of depth, a lot of rotation. Just got to come out of it. Like I agree with you. And Kyle, I think I know what you're going to say. Like, it's really more about app and ODU, and I get it. But we got to look like a quality football team down there.
Yeah.
I was going to pop for what Bubba posted. It was Temple that upset Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and you got me. Thanks, man. You got me.
It's going to walk.
I'm trying to be like Johnny Stats and do all this research, and
the wrong team.
The wrong team.
But yeah, so there we go. But anyway, to what Matt said, we do need to look good, particularly on the defensive side. Against Alabama, I think offense is going to be coming together a lot. I do think it's more about ODU and app because those are games we need to win. But you want to play well. You're on national TV. I know I still say ABC ain't as big of a deal as it used to be, but because you're on national TV the next week on ESPNU. But you want to look good. Realistically, are we going to win the game? No. Could it happen? Sure. Like Bubba pointed out, Howard beat UNLV in 2017, 40-some point underdog. So yeah, it could happen. Not likely, but you do want to look good. You want to feel real positive coming out of that game, going into App State week 2.
Hey Robert, I agree with you on that. And one of the things I'm happy that Keelan Russell is the starting quarterback because he's definitely the more talented, better upside, but he's also very inexperienced. No, he's young, and he could have a critical turnover at the wrong time, and just get the game going in our direction. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Can you rattle him early?
Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, I heard Blake on XM. He did an interview on Channel 84, College Sports Network, and
one of my favorite channels.
I was surprised that he said, I don't really, there's a chance that after the Alabama game, we don't know anything more than we did going in, which that kind of surprised me. But
I don't know who else said that.
Blake said it.
Who else has said that? I don't know.
Oh, maybe Kyle Barber, is that?
Yeah, I've been saying that about our offense. That's what I've been harping on that.
I think in fact, there were people that said that we're going to be fine on that.
Yeah, Mitch Griffiths and Brock Spalding both said these offenses are extremely similar. The one from JDB and this one, and they both, and Mitch Griffiths is like the Texas Tech offense, and this offense, or he said like 75% the same. So I don't think it's going to be quite a huge learning curve as we thought it might be.
Yeah, but I think what Blake probably meant, and I didn't hear the exact quote, JR, was if Alabama holds you to 10 points, you really don't know what you have because Alabama's defense is that damn good. So you really don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what and that's probably what he meant. You might not be able to, and that was my fear. We're not going to still not know a damn thing what we have on offense after the Alabama game going into app. That's what I've been harping on.
Well, his favorite quote of mine was they asked him about the two quarterbacks, and he really doesn't have any input on that at all. He said, that's not, he doesn't even really, necessarily follow the quarterback battle. He's leaving that up to, the people that are, the OC and the quarterback coach.
But Jordan Davis says it's up to Blake.
I don't know. Well, Blake said, I'm just going to tell you what he said on XM. He might have been just, I think, being very vanilla on purpose. I don't know. But one thing he said, my favorite quote was, he said, I'll tell you one thing, whether it's 10 or 12 or whatever the numbers are, because number 10 is not even a quarterback. But he said 10, 12, whatever the numbers are, all of them can sling it. I can tell you that. From what I've seen, all of them can sling it. And he said, you really don't know much about a quarterback, and we got all these quarterbacks are new. We've never seen any of them play for us. He said, you don't know anything about quarterbacks until they get their ass kicked. And I thought that was great.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think the way this is going to go down, guys, is like Blake. The thing I like about Blake Harrell, he's not a dictator as a coach. Right. He knows how to pull in his assistants and take input from everybody. There's going to be a meeting. And he's going to get input from everybody. He's going to get input from, obviously, Jordan Davis, right, first and foremost. But he's going to go down the line on that offensive side of the ball. He's going to get input from all the coaches, and they're going to make a collective decision. Ultimately, that will come down to what Blake and Jordan Davis decide. But that's one of the things I like about him. He is not the classic old-school dictator that's going to say, this is who I'm going with, and it's my way or the highway. I don't think that's how it's going to go.
Right. He talked about, by the way, that there's a meeting. Whenever they have meetings, there's 30 personnel there in that room, and he's going to get input from those folks. And I like that very point, because just what you said, Matt, he's done very well with keeping coaches. Some coaches are going to leave, but I think overall, and the other thing, the recruiting, I think, has been great, and it's probably because of the winning games, but also one of the questions I asked him about was the transfer portal and the balance. They've done, I think, a good job of having, you obviously don't want to go once, like where you're microwaving a team with the transfer portal, and you also don't want to be stubborn where you're just doing high school kids only. And I think
Dave, that was my question that I was going to ask him that I sent to you before. I said that same thing. I said, amongst the group of 6 schools, we're one of only 2 teams that are in the top 8 and the G6 in both the 26 portal and the 27 recruiting class. It's just us in South Florida. And so we're doing both of them very well. And yeah, I had the same idea that you did about asking that question.
Yeah, it's you got to do both. You gotta work the portal. You gotta recruit high school. You can't just be one or the other. You look at somebody like Memphis head coach Huff, who's gone heavy portal, and we'll see how he does over time there. How long he's looking to stay there? Is he looking to get to Memphis and hopefully hop that into a Power 4 job or what? But I think for the long-term stability of your program, I think 50-50, 60-40. You got to do both.
Yeah, and what it's talking about, that very thing, Kyle, is the program is solid. And Matt, there's going to be some pieces that you need, and you can go the likes of the old school JUCO route. You can go the transfer portal, grad transfers. But we're in very, very good shape. This program, this is the best this program has been in a number of years, and I think that's why ESPN has us going 10-2. Will we go 10-2? I think it's going to be 9-3, but I really believe that we're going to play very well against Alabama, better than what people expect. And I've said it before. In September, we're going to be 3-1. I'm very confident on that. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if they're close games or not. All that matters is if you win. That's all that matters.
I agree.
Yeah, 3-1 in September would be great. You know, and again, I know people hate this. I'm not calling for us to go 2-2. I'm not saying you're going to lose to ODU or out, but we better not lose that. But I really believe we could go 2-2 and still have a great year.
Of course,
but I'm not calling that. I'm just, you know, I think this team's going to come together more and more, particularly offensively as the season goes. And, you know, you get into conference play, this thing, we could really be rolling. But 3-1 September would be fantastic.
Well, that lets you know that this program has come a long way. But 3 wins, obviously, you only need 3 more to get bowl eligible. But we're looking for – I thought that, Matt, by the way, I was going to kick this to you. I love Blake is because he said in the press conference yesterday, and he said it numerous times, talking about it, our program, we're about winning championships. And I really like that. Instead of like saying, you know, we're gonna do this or have this like very conservative number that we're gonna win, he's talking about championships. And we've never won, as you guys know, people listening to the podcast or watching, we've never won an American championship. And how cool would that be? We have I did say Johnny Stats, by the way, you and I were together yesterday, and I saved it to right now. We've won 7 conference championships in the history of East Carolina, and I would like to see this year to be number 8. What do you say, Matt?
Shout out from the rooftops. I mean, I think that should always be the goal. And a few years ago, you know, there was some hesitancy to say those things around here. And so I love the fact that he says it. You know, I'm big on like consistent messaging all over the locker room, like whatever that message is, like, hey, we're about championships here. And that's the way it should be. And we're a good enough program. I think we're back to a point now where we should absolutely be in the mix this year. If we're, you know, again, it comes down to, do you stay healthy? You know, does everything click, right? But I think this team, at least the way I look at it on paper, you have a very good chance right now to compete for a conference championship. I do agree. You got to come out of that first 4, 3-1. You don't have to, but I think if you do, you're really just springboarded yourself for a great year.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Graham, by the way, said if we stay healthy, we might receive I think he means the 91 season.
A repeat of the 92 season when we went 5-7.
4-8.
That wasn't a good one.
Yeah, he means about the Peach Bowl year.
Yeah, 91 season, 92 Peach Bowl. Yeah, I know what he meant, but I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Look, last year we were in the conference championship race. I think we will be this year. Do I think we're going 11-1? Do I think we're going 10-2? Too much to be proven on offense for me to make those kind of predictions. Do I think it's possible? Yes, because besides Alabama, I don't see another game we can't win on the schedule. At the same time, there's not too many teams on the schedule that I don't think can beat us. So, I'm not going to go 11-1, 10-2. My official prediction is going to be 8-4, but I think 9-3 is a very realistic possibility.
Robert says, I think they're expecting our defense to be better than last year's. Hankins said he has 32 guys he trusted. I hope he means it.
Our defense was really good last year, so if it's better than last year, that'll be tremendous. I think it's possible that our defense could be better than last year.
You're going to go for, I know you've said it before, you think it's going to be a top 25 defense?
That was when it looked like we were going to have Danka and Lampley back. I thought with those two additions.
We still can.
I thought a top 25 defense was good. And I still think it's possible. I still think a top 25 defense is definitely possible.
What if we go 1-3? Brandon says.
What if a donkey flies out of my ass?
I don't want to see that, by the way.
That'd be one unhappy donkey, right?
What if my aunt had balls? What if my aunt had balls?
No shit. We go 1-3. Pirate Nation will be in a mess. You're going to have a lot of upset fans. I still wouldn't write the season off. I've seen Blake turn it around before. So if we were to start off 1-3, with the only win being against Central, I would be looking forward to that off week and trying to prepare ourselves for Rice and trying to, right the ship. But I hopefully I don't see that happening, Brandon.
No, I don't either.
If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle, Matt.
Thank you. I love that. I'm a huge fan of that saying. If we start 1-3, something went seriously wrong. Something went seriously wrong.
Yeah, I don't. When you see the media day, Matt, with those players and the ski, just everything. I think.
Well, let's talk about it since and I don't see too many to go much longer, but I do. So could we go 1-3? Yeah, we could, because Alabama's likely going to be a loss. So then you come home, you play App. You don't know what the hell you got on offense. Maybe we start the wrong quarterback. We throw a couple picks early. We get behind. App's not a bad team. Oh my God, now we lost App. Now we got to go to ODU. ODU was a 10-win team last year. Beat Virginia Tech, beat South Florida. We're on the road against ODU. We start our toe against ODU, and now suddenly we're 1-3 before you blink good. I would say the season's not over. Excuse me. At that point, we'd be 0-3. But I would say the season's not over. Is it possible we start 0-3? I think it is possible. I don't think it's probable, but I don't think it's out of the realm of discussions. Alabama, App State, ODU. Nobody can look at those 3 games and say they're guaranteed wins. None of the 3. So is it possible we could start 0-3? Yeah, it's possible. But I find it highly unlikely.
Brad says, question for the panel. You lose to Alabama close, but you blow out App, or you beat Alabama close and get blown out by App.
Beat App.
I'll take Bama.
No, I'd rather lose to Alabama close than beat App. I'll tell you why. JR. Most of the time when a team upsets somebody like Alabama and then comes out flat the next week against App, they don't recover. It ends up being a mediocre season. I've seen it happen too much at East Carolina. You lose Alabama close and you blow out App, you're probably going to have a really good season. You're probably going to go 10-2, 11-1. I've seen ECU beat Virginia Tech and West Virginia and end up 8-4 too many times. So that's why I would say I would rather play really well against Alabama, lose a close one, than blow out App. But I get why you say you'd rather beat Alabama because of having the moment, but then it would be completely effing ruined the next week.
I recall a Virginia Tech team several years ago going up to Ohio State and winning their opener.
Yep.
Coming back home to Blacksburg, and a ECU team goes up there and with Shane Carden and company and wins the game.
And they ended up being about a 6-6 football team.
That's correct. They lost a lot of games that year. Kenny says we're going to go undefeated in September.
I like it. I like the optimism.
Kenny Curling says Curling's must be the 8-ounce curls if he thinks they're going.
Bubba says, obviously that was unlikely, but I recall App losing to Wofford 2 weeks after Michigan and having to come back in the fourth quarter to beat Elon.
Yeah, I remember when they upset Texas A&M. In more recent years, they had to beat Troy the following week on a Hail Mary.
So what? Graham says we beat Alabama. We're throwing a freaking parade. Matt loves parades. So will you be the Grand Marshal?
Graham doesn't know the inside joke on that one, but
Matt, is that one parade you would attend?
Say that again.
Is that one parade that you would attend if we?
Listen, hell yes, I would definitely attend that parade. No question about it.
Your Knicks had a parade, buddy.
The Knicks had a parade, but that's another one I would attend. And then the Italian American Festival parade, I'll attend that one too. How about that?
All right.
But I will not do that Macy's Thanksgiving garbage any day.
Oh my God.
Jessica wants to do that one year. She wants to go to New York and go to that.
Terrible.
You don't like that? Is it too campy for you, or what? I tell you,
there's too damn many Broadway plays. That's what.
I tell you what I don't like, and I understand why they do it. And we'll get back to football. I do like parades. The one thing about Macy's I do not like is I do not like the freaking lip syncing. I absolutely hate the lip syncing. It just drives me nuts because they're terrible at it. I know that it's a nightmare when you try to do sound and singing and all, but oh my gosh, it is that I would rather have like a track recording and people just waving than to have people lip syncing. I don't know, maybe I'm too harsh on that, but that's the one thing about that parade. They're not the only ones, but that's the one negative I will say about that parade. I just kind of roll my eyes when I see people and they're way ahead or they're way behind on the song. Not that I could do any better. I'll say I cannot do any better, but you won't catch me in that parade anyway. So, all right, let's see. Philip Lee, let's get back to football. I think in the first 4 games, we go 2-2 or 3-1, depending on the office.
I think you mean the offense. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Philip. 3-1 if the offense clicks early, 2-2 if it struggles. I agree with Philip on that 100%.
Yeah.
And hey, just to that point, like, look, there's no rule that says we have to wait until next week to name a starting quarterback. If the coaching staff gets together tonight and they agree, hey, Mitch Griffiths is the guy or Emory Williams is the guy, let's get these guys as many reps as possible. Let's get ready.
Yeah, guys, I would be shocked at this point if Mitch isn't starting quarterback going into Alabama.
He's a starter.
I would too. So my point is this: hey, if that's what everybody feels is the right thing, when we go to practice tomorrow or Tuesday, whatever it is, let's get him the reps with the number ones. You got to have some continuity, and I don't see any reason to wait if you feel like he's the guy.
I don't think they will, Matt. I just don't think they're going to tell us.
I think we talked about this last week when we said, this week should be the week they start.
Yes,
they have a starter in place.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I think they will probably have that discussion with Emory and with Mitch if they haven't already. And I just don't think we're going to necessarily hear that official announcement. And I still think you hear them both. See them both. You can hear them too against Alabama.
Well, by the way, Kenny says, I want us to host the conference championship game. I've said it on this show many times, on the air, off the air. Saturday, December 5th, we will host that American championship game. And guess what? We start the season on ABC, and we will end the season on ABC regarding the conference championship game is going to be Saturday instead of Friday, which I love. I think that's great for the American, and that will be at 8 p.m. It's a primetime game, Matt. You're going to be there. I know you're going to be at that game, Matt. You got to bring Chase, take the tarps off. Let's see.
Why are you trying to get Matt to get his son to take his shirt off?
Tarps off? You don't remember the Memphis game?
That's weird, Dave.
Anyway.
Oh, boy.
I'll let Bama know. It's going to be Mitch.
Wild.
Yeah, it's going to be Mitch. Definitely. Robert says, I think they know who the starter. Yeah, of course he does. They know that it's going to be Mitch. And, Emory has got, we've said this so long. I think Matt, let me ask you this question, and maybe for the panel, and Stevie, you're obviously the TSO coach. Don't you start a guy like Mitch Griffiths that has a lot of upside, and he can manage the game versus Emory Williams is a guy that is going to do very well, I think, at East Carolina. And I think you're going to see both quarterbacks at the Alabama game also, but Griffiths will start. I don't think that's a real big secret.
Well, it certainly seems to be trending that way, and I do think you'll see both. And hey, I like what Griffiths had to say yesterday. Like, he feels very comfortable with this offense. He feels like a lot of what he ran at Texas Tech was very similar in certain ways. Yeah, that's a good sign. So hey, let's roll it out there and see what happens. But I do think it's all about reps, leading up to this first game. So as soon as we know who these guys, and not just at quarterback, you know what I mean? Like the first team unit, there's talk. We're kind of like rotating some offensive linemen around. I know Brandon Best played a little bit of guard yesterday. He's been primarily center the entire fall camp. So they're trying to look for the right combination to win. But as soon as you figure that out, let's roll with it. Stevie, as the coach, what do you think about that?
Yeah, whoever is more comfortable running the offense, I would definitely have him there. And just like everybody said, you'll see both of them. But I definitely, whoever's got command of the offense and whoever's leading the offense and has got the feel of the offense needs to be the starter.
So, Stevie, what you're saying is when we blow it out Alabama, you're going to put in Emory for like the fourth quarter so we don't embarrass them too bad? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
I'm joking with you, man. Well, Kenny had the 4-0. So,
I have a question. Is it possible that you remember Caden Hauser and Jake Garcia? They got into a few wrestling matches during practice. They genuinely just didn't like each other, and these two guys seem to, actually say good things and like each other and get along. Is it possible when you're in a heated battle like that, Matt, to actually still be pretty close?
It's hard. It's hard. I wish I could say it was easy, but it's tough. I mean, when you're competing for a job, you're putting that much work into it, and you don't really want to leave practice and go hang out with the guy, at least from my own experience. So there's always going to be a little animosity there. Hey, I give those guys credit if they're supporting each other and helping each other out. That says a lot. Referring to Griffiths and Emery, that is.
Yeah, no, I agree, Matt. And I actually, I was because hopefully a week from this Wednesday, we're going to have Paul Troth on, and he's going to talk about that, because, he was in that situation. So he has his own thoughts on that. So hopefully he can give us a little bit of insight on that.
Yeah, as far as Garcia and Hauser goes, they never really liked each other. You get the sense that Griffiths and Emery like each other, but are they really close? No, I don't think so, because they want each other's jobs. You're trying to beat each other out. I think they're both two very. I think both guys seem to have a lot of class. So I think they both seem like professionals. They're both older guys. Hauser was a younger guy when he came here.
Sophomore.
Garcia's a friggin' mess. I mean, he's starting quarterback at Watford now. I don't. How much do they truly, sit there and love each other and they're best friends? I doubt it. But I do think there's a much more mutual respect between the two than there was Garcia and Hauser. Yeah.
There's no question about it. And, that was the downfall. We've talked about that of Mike Houston. If he had gone, with Peyton Hauser, if he had gone with Hauser way earlier, I tell you when I noticed it, guys, is that Charlotte game, Matt's second favorite team.
Oh no, the change should have been made before then. I mean, the kid was an interception machine.
No, I know. I agree with you. What I'm saying is, our program was like nosediving because we're leaving a guy in that we knew that he was going to be. In fact, Hauser was my guy I told y'all from the jump. Not that I'm the only one, but Garcia.
Everybody wanted Hauser. Garcia came in out of nowhere and won that job, and it should have never happened. And no.
Remember that, Alan?
He went everywhere.
I need to go back and pull the audio from that particular media day, and go back and listen to that.
Yeah, 20. No, that was 24. I beg your pardon.
23.
24.
24. You're right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've got them both.
It just seems like two separate seasons. 24 in my head. The first half of 24 was a continuation of 23. And then the second half of 20, it was like two totally different years.
Yeah, that's correct.
You lose to Charlotte, beat NC State in the same year.
Yeah, and that's something that Blake Harrell has done a nice job of. Johnny, do you know the stats on that?
On what?
On how many North Carolina schools that Blake Harrell has beat? Is it 3, 4? I can't remember.
No, I'm not sure, but I was just going to.
It's 2.
I'm pondering if Mike Houston names Caden Hauser as his starting quarterback, like everybody wanted. Is he still the coach? Does he get fired?
I think so. I really do.
Then that would, So maybe it was a good thing. He chose to spoke Jake.
But to answer that question that Dave had is 2. If you're talking FBS, he's only had 2 opportunities. Or 3 opportunities. He beat NC State in the bowl. He lost NC State in the regular season. He beat Charlotte in the regular season. So he's 2-1 against North Carolina schools. If you want to count South Carolina schools, also he beat Coastal, which is barely over the state line. So he's 3-1 if you're counting Coastal. And hopefully after App, 4-1 again. If we're
I've been wanting to get Charlotte.
What were we going to say, Alan?
I know some were pro Hauser, but I don't remember this big uprising that everyone was saying it should have been Hauser instead of Garcia before the season. I don't remember that.
Me neither, Alan.
I can tell you that Holt Nailers who I respect a lot. I think everybody knows how much I respect Holton's opinion. Holton repeatedly
he called it.
You said it should have been Hauser, and for everything he saw,
Yeah.
and he was very surprised when Garcia won the job. And I trusted Holton's opinion 100%.
I do too. But I think to Alan's point, I just don't remember it being a slam dunk that Hauser was going to be our starting quarterback.
I do vaguely remember it was kind of surprised that Garcia started.
I think Mike got enamored with Garcia's gunslinger mentality, and that was his downfall. Obviously,
he had a bigger arm than Hauser, and I think that's really.
And he didn't show it.
Yeah.
He threw it to the wrong guy.
No, he showed he had a bigger arm. You're getting Jake Garcia confused with Mason Garcia. He showed he had a bigger arm.
Oh yeah, Mason Garcia.
Yeah, he just threw interceptions every freaking 5 minthat.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that the gunslinger mentality that Alan's point, or whoever said that, I think you know what, and this makes sense as we're saying it. Mason Garcia the year before was so friggin' scared to throw an interception and so scared to make a mistake he wouldn't throw the damn football. And I bet you money, now that we're talking this out, I bet you since Jake clearly wasn't scared to throw an interception, I bet you since he would go out and practice and wouldn't let throwing an interception get him down, and he would just keep going and going and going, I bet you that's one of the reasons Mike Houston went with him, because he was so much the opposite of Mason. It makes sense if you think about it logically, because clearly throwing an interception didn't bother Jake Garcia one damn bit. He'd go out there and throw another one.
Let's remember, Jake did come across, early on, I know on the field, but he came across personally as a guy who was a decent leader, that he had a lot of confidence. And it just didn't work out on the field, obviously, but he was a confident kid, bordering on cocky.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to answer Alan real quick. I went to that spring game, and I was actually pro Garcia for that reason, just because he would go and, after a drive, he'd go and talk to every player on the offense and, shake their, pat them on the back or, hit their shoulder pads. Yeah. And meanwhile, Caton, after a series would just, go. And so for that reason, I agree with you. He was a fiery dude, and I like that, but didn't translate.
All right. Graham Teal, who's our best go-to running back?
I think it's going to be Ashton Gray. I think
100%.
Yeah, it has to be now if Michael Allen's hurt.
Yeah, I don't know how bad Michael Allen is hurt. Is he the guy that Blake was alluding to that might miss that Alabama game? But I don't think Allen's going to be out long term. But yeah, I think it'll be Gray. I think Michael Allen will be our second best. And last year I liked TJ Engelman at times, and he didn't touch the ball as much after he had a big fumble against Temple. But if he's got his ball security down, I look for big things out of Engelman too.
Yeah. I think you're going to see like some like all these backs look to have some unique qualities. Like I think TJ Engelman, he's kind of like he's a little more speedy, shiftier guy. You think outside zone stretch, the ability to one cut and get north, get upfield and make things happen. You look at Michael Allen, a little bit stockier, a little bigger. I think he's about 215. He's more like you could see him inside zone, physical running back, a little more size. And then Ashton Gray, I went back and I watched him play in his bowl game last year against San Diego State. He looks like he's got, at least in that game, San Diego State's defense was bad. All right. But he was kind of doing everything, and he looked really good doing it. So I don't know. I tend to think Ashton Gray is like the number one, but when you look at all these guys, good skill sets, they're all going to play a ton, I think.
Yeah. Ashton Gray actually finished fourth in the American in yards per carry with players that carried the ball at least 50 times. And, he didn't have the sample size that other guys did, but when he did get on the field, he took advantage of it. And I asked him about that. And, he was behind probably the best running back that's been in our conference for quite a while. So, Caleb Hawkins, and he just was very patient. Now it's his turn to roll. I feel confident with Ashton back there, but he does look very young. Didn't you think, Alan?
Yeah, he was very baby-faced.
Yeah, when I was talking to him, I was just imagining I could, he'd look very, very young to me.
Something else that caught my attention,
right,
guys.
Hold on there. Go ahead, Al.
I'm sorry. Something else that caught my attention that I had not realized that Brock Spalding, 5 OCs in 5 years? And he's played
3. This is his third.
Except for if it was maybe JDB 2 years, but otherwise he's played for a different OC just about every year.
Yeah, Donnie Kirkpatrick, JDB, and now Jordan Davis. I was going to ask Stevie. Did you ever, did you ever think Alan Michael, when you were watching him, on Guiding Light, would be a running back at East Carolina?
Alan Michael Spalding.
Alan Michael Spalding, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a fun fact for you. Stevie is a Guiding Light fanatic. There's a fun fact that I just let out about Stevie.
Let me tell you guys this. If you lived in the South and in the summer, your grandma or your somebody kept you from 12:30
to 4 o'clock.
To 4 o'clock, you're watching CBS.
4 o'clock, yeah. The TV was off limits.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time at his grandmother's house when he was young.
Yeah, I go back to
what did Pat say?
What? What are you talking about?
I missed what you.
You spent a lot of time at your grandma's house when you were young.
Matt, you're a douche. Anyway, I win.
I go back to Kelly, Morgan, Tim, Philip.
Oh, you remember Tim?
Rick,
Kevin Bacon?
Rick, yeah.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to have a new show that's going to launch, and it's going to be the Guiding Light Objective with Stevie and I and Alan Vick.
Don't he not like you didn't know much?
No, I was actually a fan of the Guiding Light. It was the one soap I did like, to be honest.
Morgan was the cute little redhead that I always.
The redhead, yeah.
I loved Mindy.
Mindy came here a couple times and did some press.
Well, they used to do that.
Stevie, who was my favorite female on the Guiding Light? Do you remember?
Kim Zimmer was a great golfer.
Who? What'd you say, Kyle?
Stevie, do you remember my favorite female from the Guiding Light?
Harley.
Was
it Reva?
Harley.
Harley.
Look.
I don't know if you remember. One of my favorites was Roxy. Roxy Shane.
Reva's sister.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, I had one grandma that loved ABC soaps.
General Hospital.
All My Children.
Edge of Night.
One, and then Ryan's Hope and all that. Then
everybody in Eastern North Carolina watched CBS.
The best theme was NBC though. So like Days of Our Lives has always been. I never watched it, but I love that theme.
Yeah,
Days of Our Sands Through the Hourglass.
I'm gonna put on my best Southern voice right now.
Go ahead.
What?
I'm gonna put on my best Southern voice right now. Right?
Okay, go for it.
Oh God!
What in the hell are you guys talking about right now? What? I mean, we're talking soap operas here.
I'm lost.
That looks like the guy that would sit from.
Well, look, here's how it all started. All right, we have a running back.
Started it.
We have a running back named Michael Allen. I know. Stevie is a Guiding Light fanatic. There was a character on the Guiding Light named Alan Michael. So I was waiting to make that joke for Stevie, and then it just led to this.
I know he was just like, the wheels were turning. His ears were smoking. Get ready to do it.
You're not a soap opera guy.
We're not soap opera guys. We're not soap opera guys. We just grew up in the 80s. We had to watch that shit because we didn't have cable or satellite. But the best thing Stevie told me, though, and Stevie, I'm going to spill your business. I don't think you care. Stevie said when he was 13, 14, 15, 16, he during the summer, school would be out. He'd be outside doing shit. 3 o'clock, I got to go in and watch some
Guiding Light coming on at 3 o'clock. I got to go, guys.
Wow.
They brainwashed me to it, dude. That's what it was.
I'll chime in. This was my. I'll do this really quick so we can get back to football. But when I was a kid, I would go to my grandmother's a lot on Friday nights because my parents would go out to dinner. They drove off to my grandmother's. Look, you know what the lineup was on TV? It went just like this. It was MASH, which I hated. I hated MASH. And then it went to Fantasy Island, and then it went to Love Boat. It was the trifecta of horrendous, horrible shows, in my opinion.
When you were a kid,
Playing Boston, playing.
But the love boat, I have a love-hate with that because it was the same script every single week. But the
love boat
soon will be
making
Matt, her boobs in your face.
I thought you were going. I thought you were going. Speaking of CBS, I thought that you were going for 8 o'clock Dukes of Hazzard, 9
Hell
o'clock Dallas, and 10 o'clock Falcon Crest.
Falcon Crest.
The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that was
just give me Dukes of Hazzard.
Absolutely.
It's a good old boy.
The old Batman show. I used to love the old Batman show. From the
I hate the Batman show.
Yeah,
so cheesy.
Adam West. Yeah, it was
what
great.
are you talking about, Kyle? You didn't like the fake shark in the movie?
Boom, bam!
I drug him up on the sewer.
Yvonne
give me my shark repellent.
Philip
Gilligan's Island.
All right,
Matt, you're growing up in the Northeast.
Or Philip Ginger or
Marianne. I'll take Ginger.
Yes.
I'll take Marianne.
I'm gonna go for the country, but not. Ginger was hotter.
Ginger, 100%.
I can't differentiate. I just say yes when I'm asked that question.
So Matt, I got a question for you since we're talking about all this nonsense.
Hold on. Libiano, great cooking show. Do you think I should use more baking soda or baking powder?
Libiano.
Hey,
oh, that's
Mark,
funny.
Hey, Mark, we need you back on, brother. We had.
I wanted to ask Matt here, and Libiano. Where's Libiano from?
Well, he's from PA, but he's a Cali boy now. But Libiano will be in Alabama, by the way. He's going to be at the game.
So where was he from originally?
He's from PA.
Okay, all right. So I can ask him this. You guys both grew up in the Northeast. Did the Dukes of Hazzard resonate with you guys? In the South, growing up in the 80s, every little white boy wanted to be Bo and Luke Duke. So did you watch the Dukes of Hazzard, Matt, as a kid?
100%. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yep.
Good.
Was it because Daisy Duke was up there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Woo! Catherine Bach, they I didn't realize this, but watching one of those reels on Facebook, I didn't know they made her wear pantyhose for her legs. They wouldn't let her. She had obviously the Daisy Dukes on.
Yeah, it was a way to get by FCC guidelines because of how short they were. So technically, her legs were covered, but they really weren't.
Hey, question for Libiano. Mark, chime in. Are you definitely going to the Alabama game?
We're going to have to wait for Mark's answer. He can't.
And I love Philip Lee's answer there. He was asked a question. He said both of them.
Yeah,
that's what Alan Vick said.
Ginger or Marianne, both. Yes.
There you go, Alan.
Yes.
Tina Louise and Dawn Wells. Woo!
I'll tell you, we talk about Batman. How about Yvonne Craig as Batgirl?
Oh,
Kyle kind of has the balls hog, Bob. Oh, Kenny. I got you balls hog in my pants, my friend. With that said,
clip that.
Kenny's always kind of had the Enos vibe to me.
The show has deteriorated in a hurry, has it not?
I think we jumped the shark on the soap operas, but that's
because of Alan Michael Spalding. This show is really going
shark.
We need an actual football game.
I got to be honest. I know you hate MASH. Yeah, I could not differ with you more. I respect your opinion, but that was one of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah. MASH was awesome.
That's a great show.
Hey, I get it, Alan. Like, that was a really popular show. A lot of people loved it. I just, I think I was just too young to appreciate.
I agree.
That was the whole Vietnam.
Yeah, it was the show was not about.
It was the
Vietnam
Korean War.
Oh, the Korean War. Yeah.
That's the
little too soon. Look, I think what year did the MASH start, guys?
72.
Yep.
Yeah, the Vietnam War was going on, Matt.
True.
Well, the movie.
The
movie was even before.
What year did the Vietnam War end?
Vietnam War. Well, it was 72, but it ended in early 73. So late 72, it was winding down.
Well, it was still going on when the show started.
Yeah. But that final episode of MASH.
Oh my God.
That still tears me up every time I watch it.
Yeah, 1983. That was like bigger numbers than like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Most watched show in TV history. Yeah.
Yeah. So
anybody ever play Max on the Atari 2600?
Did anyone ask Blake if the reviewed cover 4 in practice?
Did anyone ask Blake if the reviewed cover 4?
If they reviewed.
If they reviewed.
Oh, are you like ran cover 4?
Yeah.
No. Why? No.
Oh, they're trying to get us back on football. That's what it is.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. We're trying. It's Kyle's fault.
Why did Libiano specifically ask about cover 4, Matt?
He's trying to go use a football term to get us back on track.
Yeah, to get us back on
track.
Libiano.
But he didn't answer the question.
He didn't answer my question, though. Yeah.
Are you going to Alabama or not? That's an easy question. Yes or no? I'm doing that. Sorry, Matt.
So I'll take it back to football. How about so? Looking at this week, is there a Thursday night game, or are they all on Saturday?
No, they're Matt, you don't pay attention. I've said this 100 times over the last few weeks. There's the greatest lineup of shitty FCS games in the history of shitty FCS games on Thursday night.
But I got one for you.
Who is it?
Hold on. I got one for you.
It's every shitty FCS game you could think of. Well, go ahead, Matt. Or God, who is AJ? Go ahead, JR.
Okay. There's a Thursday night game for you right here. So Jake Garcia is going to make his debut as the starting quarterback for Furman against Anderson.
Against Anderson, which is a D2 school. So, there's a ton of FCS games Thursday night. Week is the school in South Carolina. Week 0 is now week 1 for FCS. So, there's a full slate of FCS games starting Thursday night. I would say the best FCS game Thursday night is Maine versus Townsend. Unfortunately, it's on Flow Sports. So the best one is going to be on ESPN Plus, in my opinion, is Austin Peay and Gardner Webb. But there's a ton of FCS games Thursday night. Just put it on ESPN Plus. I'm going to watch whatever's close. I'll flip it around to all the different FCS games. And then Saturday, you got 8 FBS games and then, a full slate of FCS. So Thursday night, I'll be tuned into ESPN Plus watching FCS games. Who else? Is anybody? Matt, are you going to watch the FCS games?
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely. I'll be tuning in to watch Maine because the following week they play Temple.
Well, no, Maine plays App State.
Wait, who am I thinking of? Wait,
Rhode Island.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I got my team, my Northeast.
Do you have a Flow Sports subscription?
What's that?
Do you have a Flow Sports subscription?
It's not active, but
that's what Maine Townsend is on.
Kyle, how do you say Townsend?
Townsend?
No, it's Townsend.
No, it's Townsend. No, it's Townsend.
No, it's not.
Look, I know what they're called, but ever since we played them, I always call them the Townsend Townies. Yes, I know it's Townsend. I know that, but it's Townsend.
From Maryland. They're from Maryland.
Yeah, it's Townsend.
Yeah, Baltimore.
TOWNSON, Townsend.
No, TOWSON.
No, TOWNSON, Townsend.
Okay.
Let's hope that North Carolina makes that long trip to Dublin only to get their ass kicked on that.
Oh, they're going to get boat raced. Hey, by the way, I heard the line today, guys. The line for that game is only 7, a touchdown. Are you kidding me?
The only thing I would say about that is what's his name? A really ugly dude who had sex with a really hot girl in Arkansas.
Bobby Petrino.
Thank you. Bobby Petrino is a hell of an offensive mind. That to me is really their only chance. Is the Petrino influence. Besides that, I fully expect TCU to win that game.
Look, how many North Carolina fans actually, not that it matters, like having two of the worst people in football when you have Belichick and Petrino? I mean, come on. They don't Carolina fans don't even like them. So, again,
if they go to Ireland and beat TCU, it won't matter.
Yeah, they'll like them.
They'll love them.
Yeah.
It's interesting that in this state, North Carolina and NC State both open up this Saturday. You got NC State, Virginia. So it's game week. If you're a Tar Heel or a Wolfpacker, it is game week for you guys.
Yep.
And
I have
along with all the FCS programs in the state.
Yep. I got a Tar Heel fact that so last season, I think I even discussed this with David Glenn last year. They only had 2 of their 40 recruits were from the state of North Carolina. This year they have 19 recruits so far in the class of 27. 0 from North Carolina. I don't know what's going on, but since Belichick's got there, he's just not interested in recruiting North Carolina. That's fine with me, but it's just very peculiar.
I think you probably have to. Hey, Alan, you remember?
No comment on that?
No,
I think that Belichick is probably taking the approach of trying to get whoever he believes is the best player he can get when he doesn't care where they're from. I think a lot of North Carolina talent that's high level has been going out of state to the SEC schools.
Yep.
And so I think, maybe that's part of it. If he can't get the best, he's not going to get the second best. I don't know. I can't answer that. That is odd, though. But, hey, you know what? That's more for us.
Hey, Alan, you remember the coach in the late 80s, Dick Crum?
Oh, yeah.
He was at Ohio. He used to always get the Ohio guys to North Carolina.
And then he had a lot of success, too.
Oh, he did.
He also stole our punter.
Dick Crum is actually the nickname of Jeff Comfort.
Dick Crum, I remember him.
Didn't Tommy Barnhart leave ECU and go to North Carolina when Dick Crum was there?
I'm not sure.
I think he
did.
He
was at Carolina.
Yeah, I know Barnhart was at Carolina. I don't remember if he played at ECU.
Y'all remember when Dick Crum got run over on the sidelines and ended up breaking his leg?
Oh, yeah.
I was at one of the games. It was Duke, North Carolina, when I was living there, or right after. And I remember being at a Duke, North Carolina game, and Dick Crum was on those crutches, and somebody said, "Hey, Dick Crum needs to help take him off into the sidelines," because I gave him credit for the fact that he was checking on his player that got hurt, but I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Former Wisconsin quarterback will start week 1 for Carolina, by the way. Billy Edwards Jr. is going to be the starter.
Who's going to start week 0?
Okay, week 0, week 1. Jordan's going to start week 1.
By the way, I agree with this sentiment of the best possible season for North Carolina is they do poorly, so you get rid of Belichick and have a $30 million payout. Not that I care, because it's North Carolina. I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny that they picked a guy that they're paying $10 million, and I don't know whether a new basketball coach, but Hubert Davis is only getting like $4 million. Now, $4 million to us is a lot, but my point is, Carolina is a basketball school. Carolina is a basketball school.
I feel, and who cares? Because North Carolina, I understand their thought process. They just made the wrong hire. The thought process was if they're going to get into the Big Ten or the SEC, they got to get their football program at a high level. And so I understand that's why they're doing that. They just made the wrong hire.
Well, they're going to have a big ass payout. I can tell you that right now. And that's all that Belichick, if he really wanted to win, he could win, but look at the Michael Lombardi. Who knows? That's one of the best kept secrets. Nobody knows what happened there. With obviously,
you can pretty much guess what happened with the with everything. With everything they're not telling you, you can pretty much guess what happened.
Well, I think the fact that he was highly paid, and I think the fact that they suck. They were looking for any kind of excuse to get rid of him. That's my personal opinion. And again,
question: if you're Carolina and Carolina finds a way to go 5-7, 6-6, whatever, do you retain Belichick?
Not for that amount of money.
I wouldn't, but that's me.
No, not for that amount of money. No.
He's
making way too much money. In year 2, in this day and age where you don't build programs, really, everything's kind of microwaved. For what I'm paying him, he needs to win 8 games this year.
I was going to say 7. What do you think, Matt? And then we'll get back to East Carolina.
How about we get the hell out of here pretty soon? We've been doing this.
Well, I'm not ready. I think Belichick. I think he took that job for one last paycheck. He's not invested at all. He hasn't been from the start. It never felt right. If he has a terrible year again this year, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they part ways.
Well, how do you come up with that $30 million? Like that, even for North Carolina, that's a lot of cash. Because they signed. That was the other thing. Why do you sign a older man to a 5-year deal? Number one. Number two, $10 million a year for 5 years. for $50 million, and they spent. Remember, I don't know about this year, but last year they spent $20 million on a payroll, and they only won 4 games. And one of them was Syracuse's quarterback was a lacrosse player. Do you remember that? One of their wins.
Yep. We'll know pretty early which way the pendulum's going to swing for Carolina football this year. I think we'll know pretty quick, how things are going to go.
Awen says UNC football revenue is 2 times basketball, around 60 million versus 30 million. Well,
TV contract. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, if they had a choice to win a national champion basketball or football, which one would they take? I'll rest my case. All right, you guys have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No.
No.
We'll be back Wednesday. We're going to have David Glenn on most likely.
Yep.
And we'll talk to DG. And then next week, we'll be back Sunday. We'll be in game week mode. And then next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, as of right now, we're going to have Paul Troth on and probably talk a lot about Mitch Griffiths.
Shoot. Our shows are Thursday.
Our shows are Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday. They are Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know. My final thing I'm going to say is,
and also I was going to finish that. We'll have Paul Troth on in 2 weeks on a Wednesday, and we'll also have an Alabama beat writer, somebody representing Alabama on that week also.
Thank you, Philip. We appreciate it very much. We talked.
Philip, your standards are low.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, I'm dying to know before we get out of here, what is your favorite soap opera of all time?
Wow. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know what to tell you.
Matt's nickname in college was the Bold and the Beautiful, so that's probably going to be.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Definitely bold.
Hey, whatever. I'll take your word, your advice there, Alan. It's all good. Never saw one.
Hey, don't forget, tomorrow night, guys, a lot of high school football.
Yeah, we might want to promote that, being it's on our network. Martin County High School football, it will be on the Sports Objective tomorrow night. Dave has to call. Dave, who's your color man?
Hank Tice, who's a former Williamston Tiger high school coach, and he's a good friend of mine. And I saw where we had done this in 23, and God rest his soul, but I miss Coach Harold Robinson a lot, and H-Rob, of course, at East Carolina under Thompson, and he was also under Ruff and under Houston. Yeah, he went a long time there, but anyway, and Holtz. So,
but Martin County Gator football will be on the Sports Objective every Friday night, but it will be on Monday night, 7 p.m. On the Sports Objective. Nothing's changed on that, right, Dave?
That's correct. And then we have a playback on Tuesday night with Magic 95.9 at 7 o'clock. So whenever we have a Friday night game, the next morning, 10 to noon, we'll be on Magic 95.9.
Well, that's terrific. But the Sports Objective is what we're on now. And our listeners will listen to it on the Sports Objective. And to appeal to East Carolina fans, tell them who plays for Martin County.
Jordan Matheson, who is our latest commit last Sunday. And by the way, guys, wanted to let you know also that CJ Wilson is the coach for a lot of you probably know, from North Pitt. So we have a Pirate connection there as well.
CJ Wilson is the coach of Martin County?
North Pitt.
Oh, North Pitt. Yeah. Where's the game, Dave?
It is in Martin County. They're in Williamston. So I'd love to have everybody come out, and it's going to be a great game for sure. All right, we'll get out of here. I know Matt had to run. Stevie, are you working tomorrow, or you've been here with us?
I'm off tomorrow.
Okay. Well, tell me something. If you can get off on a Monday, why can't you get off on a Saturday with us? Come on, bro.
Because Saturday is one of my busiest
days.
I'm
messing with you. I know. But I'm looking forward. I hope you can make it to the App game for sure.
Hopefully be at App State Day. Hopefully I'll be there.
Yeah. All right. And Alan is his screen. I don't know what happened to Alan, but
Matt left.
He turned the light off, I guess. But anyway.
Well, Matt left and his screen went blank.
Oh, there's oh, you're right. That's what happened. Alan is
going to be 2 Alan Vick.
No, we lost you again.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much, Johnny. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Jessica. Kyle.
Thank you, Alan.
Day. We appreciate you all very much, and thanks to Bubba also for helping us get out our content really quick this year. We appreciate that very much, and thank you, Kyle, also for helping behind the scenes on that. And we'll get out of here. We'll have our show again Wednesday night. David Glenn from the David Glenn Show on the North Carolina Network, Sports Network. He'll be with us at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you Wednesday. And as always, go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.